Hello, and welcome back to the clairecodes channel. Today, we will be making a Black Lives Matter microsite. And through its creation, we will learn how to add glitch effects in HTML using Scss. We will then learn how to use a converter to demonstrate how to convert Scss to CSS. Before I begin, I would like to address the Black Lives Matter movement. However, I believe some other creators are more suited to articulate this discussion, and as such, I will be posting links to people of color, tech leaders, and creators in the description below. This is the site we will be creating. As you can see, it says in glitch text, Black Lives Matter. When you say in response, all lives matter, you are missing the point. And then there's a link provided for further explanation. If you are watching this video, I would hope that you understand this message. However, if you do not, I urge you to click the link provided and learn more on your own. Let's jump into the project, shall we? Additionally, as always, a link to all the code will be provided in the form of a GitHub repository. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is open up the terminal. And then from here, I'm going to put this directory on my desktop. So I'm going to cd desktop, and then I'm going to do make directory like that. And I'm going to call this BLM tutorial. Okay, and then I'm going to cd to BLM tutorial tab to get it all. And then to open it up in my Visual Studio Code, I'm going to run the command code dot. And there we go. Okay, as you can see, we have nothing right now, but that will quickly change. So let's first create our index.html. And from there, let's create our styles.css. And then also our styles.scss. And we will be actually populating the CSS after we create our SCSS. And I will show you what I mean by that later on. So let's dive in. Let's go into our index.html, and then from here, let's do, this is Visual Studio Code, so we can do exclamation point, and it'll autofill the top for us. So we're going to call this Black Lives Matter glitch tutorial. That's going to be the title. And then I think the first thing we should do is link in. We're going to do a link href to our okay, we're gonna do href to our styles.scss first, and then we can relink it to the CSS later on. And this has a rel of style sheet slash SCSS, makes sense, and then type is text slash CSS. And then let's close that. Cool. And let's save. All right. And I also have formatter and prettier on. So as you can see, it auto formats for me, which I think is really nice. Okay. So I'm going to provide once again the GitHub repo. And I actually have this commented out in my repo currently, but I'm just going to paste it in. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but HTML and SCSS are not directly compatible, right? So in order to make them compatible, I actually have to write in a script. And the script looks like this. I am not exactly, I can explain some of it, but I also did find this, I believe, in Stack Overflow or a site such as that. So it's actually using a library. Here you can see that, sassmin.js. It's a JavaScript library. And then it's creating a promise to gather all of our style sheet and compile it basically into CSS. So I hope that pretty much explains what's going on. Okay, so let's get started. Let's jump in. All right, so our body, I'm just right here in the body going to, actually, no, let's not do that. We don't need to make, I was going to add a styling right in there, but let's do this the traditional way in our SCSS. Okay, so I'm going to make a div, and I like to start my div just the outer div with a class of container. I think that's a nice practice. And then within here, let's make another div. And this is going to have the class of glitch container. Oops. Yeah, I can spell glitch correctly. Glitch container. Cool. And then within here, let's make our first glitch divs. Glitch is kind of an odd word. So we're going to give this a class of glitch. And then this one is going to be the first word, which is black, and then lives, and then matter. And then we're also going to give it a data text of black. Okay, so let's just copy this 2 more times because they all have the same class of glitch. And then lives, and then matter. Okay, cool. And then below our glitch container, we are going to have another section. I still want to be within the container div, so let's go back up. Okay, and this is, let's look back at what we have going on. So as you can see, we have Black Lives Matter, it's huge, and glitch effect. And we kind of have this shade effect here, right? There's kind of like, makes it look kind of 3D, 3-dimensional. So let's actually, I'm going to call this section just to differentiate. And we're going to give this a class of thin shade. And then within there, let's make a div. Let's give this a class of shade text. And then I'm just going to copy the text in. And as you can see, I added breaks. And breaks just separate it to another line. So this, I could have also put these all in their own divs, but I just decided to do it this way. Okay, great. And then below this section, I'm going to have another div. And that is going to have a class. This we also want this to have the glitch effect, so it's also going to be glitch. But then I want this to be smaller glitch, and I'll explain why that is happening. I do not want this, however. Don't know why I put that in quotes. Okay, and then within, let's scroll down. Within this div, I'm going to have the link. So it's an A tag, and then want to learn why. Within there, and I'm just going to copy the link in. Again, the code will all be provided. So for a link, that would be href, and then this is from Vox, and then the target is _blank so that it opens in a new document. Cool. All right, I'm going to split the screen so we can see 2 things at once, and I'm going to move the SCSS over there. We still want to see the index. Okay, so let's go back to the top so we can see our container and what have you. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, why don't we see what this looks like actually? Okay, so I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to find the directory on my desktop. And we called it BLM tutorial, so I'm just going to drag it right. Oh, does not like that. So basically what I did is I just opened the directory, and then I'm just going to drag the HTML right there. And this is what we have so far. Okay, so something is happening. Let's find this. We don't want that. Okay, good. Save that. Hopefully when I refresh, that goes away. And it's gone. Okay, so it's beautiful, right? And then we can click on the link already. Okay, cool. So let's start styling this up. So the first thing I'm going to do is address the body. And we're going to give this background color black, which is 6 zeros. Or you can just write black. And the font family is going to be, does it have it here? No. Okay, I think that this is going to be Varela, and I think that this is actually a web safe font, and then our backup font will be just a sans serif. And so everything in the body will have that. And we're going to give everything a margin of 0 and a padding 0 as well for the body. It's a good way to start it off. And now let's address the glitch container. I would, if I can spell things correctly. I would like this to have a margin top of 80 pixels. And let's see already what's going on. I think it's all going to turn black and we won't really be able to read the text. Okay, so something is not happening correctly. Okay, so I reopened the Visual Studio Code BLM directory just by dragging it into Visual Studio Code. And as you can see, I'm now provided with the Go Live link. And if I click Go Live, it starts a live server and it's working. So I think just dragging it in is not the way to do it. We need to have it live to actually view and compile the SCSS. So definitely get this Go Live extension. And then from there, you can see what is going on, which is very important. And then if you could see, like, everything was a black background and we couldn't read our text. So now that we've established the glitch container margin, let's get to the glitch itself. So we definitely want the color to be white. So let's do 6Fs. And then I want the font size to be 100 pixels. And then we're going to relatively position this. And then I want the width of this container to be 400 pixels. I want it centered. So margin 0 auto. And now remember, we also have glitch small. And in SCSS, we can do this to target it. So this is glitch small, the and symbol. And we're going to give this a font size of 30 pixels and a margin top of 40 pixels. Okay, now we're getting to the fun part. So we're going to make our keyframes for the animation. All right, so this animation, we want it to kind of randomly clip the text so that it's glitching. So we're going to add with SCSS keyframes is a possibility that we have that we do not, it's not quite the same in CSS, but we will convert it so we can see what that looks like after we create this. So I'm going to call it noise animation. And then we are going to define the amount of steps we want. So for this, I'm going to give it 20 steps. And now we're going to loop through. So at 4, and this is, I is typically like the index. So from 0 through steps. I think I, yes, did that correctly. And then we are going to get the percentage and just like randomly cycle through them. So let's get percentage of the index times, this is going to be parentheses, 1 divided by the number of steps, which we know is defined as 20. Okay, cool. I think that looks good. Yeah, okay, it's happy now. So right now we're gonna address the top, and we want this to just be a random number of 100. And then the bottom, also random, 101 minus whatever is going on at the top. And then most importantly, we are going to address the clip path. And maybe I'll include a link below that talks more about clip paths and what have you. I think it's unhappy. Let's see. Yeah, that should fix it. So definitely always include your ending colons. And then the inset is going to be whatever number the top is. 0. Oops. Did I do that correctly? No, this. I want to put this outside. 0. So it's like top, right, bottom, left, like clockwise. Okay, and then money sign. Oh, I forgot the money sign by top. Do as I say, not as I do. Or I don't know. Then bottom, another percentage sign, 0. Okay, cool. So that's our noise animation so far. Now let's get to the glitch. Let's see what it looks like actually. Save. Let's go back to our live server. Let's try that again. Let's exit the live server. Let's go live. Okay, so we are not seeing white text there, so let's see what's going on with that. So we have glitch. Let's go down here. Oh, I spelled glitch incorrectly, so definitely good to check over your work, especially when things are not looking the way. Okay, so we have something happening already. Cool. All right, so I also know that I want glitch to be uppercase, so I'm going to do text transform uppercase. Cool. All right, already looking like something. All right, so we have our animation. Now let's target the glitch before. So we know that the content has a data attribute of data text. It's important. And then we want this to be position absolute as opposed to relatives. Okay. And then I'm just going to move it over to the left just a little bit. -2 pixels. I want it to have a text shadow to really give it the glitch effect of 1 pixel blue. Oops. And I'm not quite sure of the hex, so I'm just going to write blue there. And we want it to be at the top, so 0, and the color white, and a background color of black. Okay, so we want to hide the overflow. And now the fun part, we're going to do our animation. So our animation is, again, the noise animation. I spelled it like that. I want it to go on for 15 seconds. And I want it to be infinite, so it's going to keep doing that. And then linear, and to alternate reverse. Let's save that. Let's see what's going on. So we already have the start of our glitch effect. Very cool. Okay, is there anything that I left out? Yes, there is something I left out. Okay, so we have the before of our glitch effect. Now we're going to copy this, and I'm going to put it down here, and I'm going to call it animation 2. Why not? And it's really just going to be the same. But I think it'll have, yeah, different random numbers. Makes sense. All right, so this is for before. And then, do I even need animation 2? Yes. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, just so it's different. Makes sense. Okay, so now let's do the glitch after. And let's see what's different. Okay, so we definitely, let's just copy all of this here and put it in after. And we're going to call this animation 2. That's important. We still want the content to be that. We definitely still want it to be absolute. Instead, we're going to put this left of 2 pixels. And I want this to be red and -1. Top of 0 is great. White, black, overflow hidden. Great. Now let's see what's going on. Cool. So now you can see there's like, we got, you know, a little bit of red, a little bit of blue. Sweet. All right. Did I spell Varela correct? Because I don't know if it's picking up on that. Okay, we'll address it later if we feel the need. Okay, cool. So let's move on actually to the thin shade. All right, thin shade. And as we know, this is where we have the text. When you say in response, all lives matter, you are missing the point. So we're going to give this a margin top of 30 pixels. And then boop, boop. Oh, sorry. This is what we're going to do for the shade text. Actually, I'm just going to copy this. Okay. And now thin shade. A bunch of stuff going on. We want to give it a font size 30 pixels. Text transform once again to uppercase. I want to decrease the letter spacing, or actually, sorry, increase the letter spacing, just so there's room for, you know, the background, like shadow, what have you. So I'm going to do 0.35 REM. Color will once again be white. And now we're going to do our text shadow. Okay, so it's going to be -4 pixels, 4 pixels, 0. And then I want it to be kind of a gray color, so it's hash symbol, hex symbol, 595959. And then let's move this over a bit. All right, so then we're going to have comma, -6 pixels, 6 pixels, 0. And then I'm going to do an RGBA, because this is the way of actually, I can, through RGBA, I can actually change the opacity. So this is also going to be a gray. It's going to be 255, 255, 255. And then this, the opacity is 0.5. And then let's give this position relative. And also width of 400. And margin 0, auto to center it. Cool. All right. Next, I'm just going to quickly put in some media queries, just so it looks like okay at like a, you know, smaller screen size. So at media only screen and max width 600 pixels. And we're going to do this with the glitch. Font size 60 pixels. Width 300 pixels. And we want to target the small. So that's going to be n ... small. Font size 20 pixels. And then let's address our thin shade to make that smaller as well. Font size of 15 pixels and a width of 300 pixels. Oops, do not want to do spotlight search. Let's save that. Okay, cool. Let's go back here and see what's going on. Sweet. Okay, so this did not center. So let's see why that's happening. Let's inspect our page. Boom. Thin shade text. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's because our width we just put, or I just put 400, and I meant to put 400 pixels. Okay, because it was just taking up the full width. All right, cool. I'm happy with that. I think if we look back here, it is a sans serif. So I'm going to look into why the text did not come in. All right, I'm just going to make sure that I spelled this correctly. So I'm copying what I have before, going back up. I think I did. There we go. Okay, so I spelled it incorrectly. Okay, I'm happy with this. Cool. So now let's actually try to find, and I found it already, and I will put it in the description below, an SCSS to CSS converter. So as you can see, I put the SCSS we just made over here, and then I did convert, and I got back this. As you can see, there's a lot more going on, right? They had, in CSS, we would have to define every 5% to show the clips. And I don't think, and it wouldn't be quite as random. but we can just copy all of this. Boom. Let me just make sure the bottom looks good. Yeah, they even got glitch small. Perfect. And then let's go back here into our CSS and let's paste it in. Boom. And then let's go back to our HTML and let's actually find our scripts and just comment them out. And then let's copy this style sheet. And let's comment out this style sheet. And we want it to be CSS this time. Oh, okay. Let's give this a try without the CSS. There we go. Okay. And let's see if we refresh this. Okay, cool. All right. So as you can see in CSS, I think we would actually have to define, we'd have to make this capital letters. I don't know why. Yeah, it's not working there. So let's give that a try. Let's copy this. So it's always good when you hit a wall like that, sometimes, ooh, I just copied black over and over, didn't I? Yep. It's very silly of me. Oops. Command C, Command V, boom. And there we have it working. So now you know how to, yeah, make the glitch effect, make it an SCSS, and then once you have an SCSS, convert it. And again, a lot of this was really helped by the live server in Visual Studio Code. So if you want to download Visual Studio Code, I'll put a link to it down below. I hope you learned something, and I hope you definitely support this cause in any way you can, whether it's buying from Black businesses, Black-owned businesses, whether it's donating, whether it's just, you know, learning more, checking your privilege, what have you. Definitely like this is a forever cause. This isn't just like a few months ago, we're going to go to some protests, you know, and I just want to make sure that's clear. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, I never say this, but why not? I'm a YouTuber now. Thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. All right, I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye. And I'm on a roll.